Hey, everybody, and welcome in. It's the Poor Man Fantasy Football League podcast. We're the fantasy football show that gives you a peek inside the life and times of our Dynasty League. I'm your host, Mike. With me, as always, is my good friend, Andrew. And this week, we start our divisional breakdown series with the AFC South. Now, this is a series that we do every year. We stretch it over the summer to fill in that void until we actually get some real football talk. This is where we get a chance to make some very, very uneducated predictions of what we think is going to happen. And let's get into it. Andrew, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay. And yourself?
I'm a little wet. I was telling you off the air that my above ground swimming pool, because of all the rain we've been having, had a pool on top of it. So my cover had 2.5 feet of water. I'm going to do the math while I'm on the air with you guys right now. So it is a 14 foot diameter. Sorry, I apologize. It's a 14-foot diameter with an average depth of just over 24 inches. Let's just say 2 feet. That is 2 feet deep. How many gallons is that? Boop. All right. Let's see
12.
what I get back.
12.
How many gallons? That's 2,300 gallons.
Oh, guess I was a little
Do you know
bit
how
off.
much my pool holds? My pool is a
25?
3,300 gallon pool.
There you go.
And I had 2,300 gallons sitting on top of it.
I'm surprised the lid didn't break.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it till now. Because it's been raining so much, I just let it go. And I just bailed it off tonight. Took my son and I about an hour and a half. And according to, if you have a 14-foot diameter, and that is 2 feet deep, it'll hold approximately 2,303 U.S. gallons of water. Oh, man.
Considering the rain that we're going to get this weekend, you might want to just leave the lid off.
No.
And then it'll all overflow.
No, I'll put the lid back on. I don't want all the contaminants.
I guess, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you get all like leaves and
bugs and everything else disgusting. Yeah. So right now the lid is off. The robot is doing its job cleaning the bottom. I had to unclog all the filters because we have all that tree dander and fluff and stuff. So that turned itself into a nice clothy blanket. Yeah.
Mike,
cool life, man. It's good.
Yeah, I was going to say first world problems there, Mike.
First world problems, yeah. Yeah.
My pool boy didn't clean off the cover.
That's me. So I got no one to blame but myself. I was just happy my son did come out and help me.
So now he's the pool boy?
Yeah, he's my pool boy. Yeah. We're going to pick cool pool names. Anyways, so here we are. It is Wednesday night, June 24th. Summer is officially upon us. We have a small break in the rain window because yesterday, today, and maybe a little bit of tomorrow. And then the rain comes back Friday and going into the weekend. Hopefully it's just like cloudy drizzle, not torrential downpour. Because we got like a year's supply of rain in 2 days.
Pretty close.
Yeah, it was wild. Oh. Let's talk some football news. Or should I say some soccer news? Let's go there. Have you been catching any of the World Cup?
Yeah, actually, I've been watching quite a bit of it.
Really?
Surprisingly enough.
That's pretty cool.
The dude that broke the Canadians' leg got a 5-game suspension.
Did he actually break his leg?
Well, yeah.
I have not watched a full game. I've only caught highlights, and I haven't.
The thing is, though, I was watching the game live, and to me, it was a clean check. It looked like the guy got ball, but just their legs collided, kind of like in hockey, knee on knee, but their legs collided, and he broke his shin bone.
That was against Qatar, right?
Yeah, but they gave the guy a red card immediately. But like I said, to me, it looked like a clean check or whatever they call it. But the dude got 5. They announced it today. The dude got 5 games for
it. Is there even going to be 5 games
for Qatar
for them in the World Cup?
No, but that'll still carry over into international.
Okay.
It would be like the NHL or the NFL. If they give you a 12-game suspension and you got it on week 17, it would carry over to the next season. So it would carry over into any international, him representing Qatar, but
Right.
like
I'm just looked up today.
crazy
Did you
stats.
watch
Like,
today?
unfortunately, well, I didn't. I had it on in the background at work. I didn't really get to watch it.
Canada lost 2-1 to Switzerland, but they
Yeah.
still advanced to the knockout round.
Yes, it's the best Canada's ever done. So
Yeah. With what you saw, good game, tough game.
the game against Qatar was crazy. Like,
Yeah, well, they
time
got
of
6 goals.
time of possession was probably like
Mm.
90% to 10. Like, Qatar really had no offensive output. And in today's game, Switzerland dominated really the first half. Like, offensively, Canada had, to me, from what I was seeing, Canada had kind of the offensive push in the second half, even though all the goals were in the second half, all 3 goals. But it seemed like Canada was pushing harder.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, it happens. But
It is, but it's fun that it's happening. There seems to be a lot of internet buzz. I do enjoy some of the highlights. There's just too many games to try and watch.
yes,
My dad is spending a lot of time watching World Cup soccer, so I get a lot of highlights and updates from him. And I am fairly certain he is 100% pronouncing everybody's name wrong.
yeah,
And that includes countries and players.
probably.
And I'm thinking, like, who, what? And I try and go look up. I'm like, oh, that's who they're playing. Dad, that's not how you pronounce that name.
Yeah,
But that's okay. It does give me a chuckle.
like some of the crazy stats, like Lionel Messi's got 5 goals. Who's the other?
The French guy, Mbappe, which I'm probably pronouncing wrong.
Some Erling Haaland from Norway has 4.
But yeah, that guy's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see the knockout.
He's got 4 goals. That Kylian Mbappe.
Yes.
He's got 4
Yep.
goals as well.
For the assists, it's only 3 assists. Yellow cards. Here we go. Bad boy. What you gonna do? Qatar, the guy that got suspended, Fathi.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, no. Madibo must be the guy. Fathi just has 2 yellows. One guy from Mexico, another guy from Qatar, both red cards, both kicked out. So Canada plays it next Sunday at 1:00. They haven't figured out against who yet, though.
Yeah, we'll find out soon enough. It's just fun.
We'll probably find out tomorrow who they end up playing.
All right, now let's talk about some American football, because there's been some big news that dropped. The NFL declines to hold a supplemental draft. I'm pretty sure as a middle finger to that stupid kid with all the gambling problems.
Probably.
And I think that's fantastic if that's the stance they take. I feel frustrated with international sports as a whole, or maybe just American sports, for allowing players with a history of making bad personal choices, allowing them to play because they're overlooking their character flaws and allowing them to use their talents to just move on. And I think we've set too many bad precedents where, hey, you know what? You are a piece of crap human being. And until you've cleaned your act up and have proven it through a consistent history of making improvements where you stop making these bad judgments and you doing these stupid things, we don't want you in our league. And I would love to see sports organizations take that stronger stance. Because if this kid has this massive behavior and now he's trying to leave the NCAA, to come to the NFL, no, you're setting a bad precedent, or you're continuing a bad precedent, saying, hey, yeah, you know what? We'll forget that because you're kind of a big deal right now. Let's see if you can turn into something bigger. Let's take this attention and hype and get it going, and see if we can turn it around or capitalize on the attention.
It's all about money. though.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's the dumber the kid is, the more attention they're going to get, the more money they're going to make. It becomes more of a spectacle, right? It's all the way from middle school to pro, right? I'll overlook that you beat up your girlfriend in an elevator.
Yep.
On
Or that
video.
you Pete Rosed your entire college career.
Yeah. And yeah, we'll overlook all of that just because you're a superstar athlete. Here,
Yeah,
it's like
you're a high
put it
prospect.
like let's flip it around the other way, though. How many kids that are boneheads who are mediocre players get cut just for that reason? I was gambling. I don't want that on my team.
Yeah, gone.
Because you're not a superstar or an all-star player.
Right. So you don't get that grace because you're not. Yeah, I know what happens. It's just frustrating.
All those Canadian junior Canadian hockey players that sexually assaulted the girl on video
and found not guilty.
And some of them are still in the NHL. It's a sad commentary on society that we put the priority on that you can put the puck in the net or throw the 45-yard touchdown pass as opposed
over your character as a person.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we're not a character-driven society. What also drove this home is my son had, in theory, his last baseball game. There's oddly enough, there's a makeup game that doesn't really count. It's just for fun. But he had his last baseball game. My nephew came, and he was talking about some of his college buddies that he plays baseball with. And one of them is going to be drafted because he finally can throw a 97-mile-an-hour fastball consistently. And he goes, it's utter BS, but the kid's been doing roids for nearly a year to get his body up to the point where he can do that consistently. They skipped the drug test for his screening because they knew, with the intent of cleaning him up once he gets to the majors. And he goes, that's what it takes. You need to put in that kind of effort to get noticed. And once you get noticed, they're like, okay, we know you fudge things a little bit, but we want that here. So now we're going to give you these world-class doctors and trainers and stuff. So we know your body's capable of doing it. So now we're going to do it where you're not going to get caught or have to do drugs. And I was like, that's freaking wild, man. Like that's the nature of.
You cannot tell me that, guys in baseball that have admitted it. Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, Jose Canseco, blah, 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 blah. But it's not them seeking out, saying, I want to do these drugs. I want to do this. I want to do that.
It's a demand.
The pressure. It's the pressure from the team,
the league,
the alumni, the league. Yes, everything all around. But then the league turns around and says, well, we do drug testing and we're kick those guys out. Yeah, but at the time when Barry Bonds saved baseball by destroying the home run records, all the stuff that he was taking wasn't banned at the time. It wasn't until after the fact that everything starts getting banned. Same thing with Roger Clemens. All that stuff was legal because they didn't really know what it was doing to people. Like, it's still
they didn't know what it was doing, so they couldn't ban it. But once they became aware of it and decided, okay, we don't want this.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Like, you take Barry Bonds as a prime example. Him being on whatever chemical he was on does not make him see that fastball any quicker. It's still the God-given talent that's behind it.
Sure, yeah.
So I either you open it up to everybody that, hey, your choice. We're not going to be hypocrites anymore. Your choice. You want to take the drugs, you take the drugs. You don't want to take the drugs and you want to go natural, go natural. But you're the one making that choice. And in this case, this kid that's going to go pro, if he didn't take the drugs and couldn't be consistent,
he wouldn't have got noticed.
Then he doesn't get noticed and he doesn't make the major leagues. You look at even the NFL, right? Like you've got 124 U.S. colleges that have football teams. On all of those teams, there's 125 kids. We're drafting what?
7 rounds, 32?
180. We're drafting 180 kids a year. Or 210 kids a year, 7 rounds.
That's 14,880 college kids that play football.
Yes. So the odds of you making it pro are next to nothing. Next to nothing. I say to my daughter all the time, who you know, oh, I want to get like I want to be like a professional dancer, and I want to do this, and I want to. That's great, but what's your backup plan? Because in Edmonton, at the Windspear, there's a job for 30 people that 1,000 are going to apply for. The odds of you getting it are pretty slim. So don't bank that anybody's kid is the next Wayne Gretzky, because they're not.
Yeah, it's the world we live in. I'm not really sure where to go, right? Like I recognize why it exists. It's just frustrating from a point of view that I hold.
Oh, for sure. And to get back to your original point of just bad decision making. Take the steroids out, take all that other stuff out. Mm-hmm. But you making stupid decisions like gambling, gang violence, sexual or physical abuse, or just being a stupid
speeding, person. Vehicular manslaughter.
Yes, just making stupid decisions in your life, and they're above the law all of a sudden. That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. It's a tiered system. It's not an equal system. All right. In other news, 2 tight ends recently signed extensions. The first one being Brenton Strange with the Jags, signed a 3-year extension worth $48 million, and Kyle Pitts signed a 3-year extension with the Falcons for $54 million.
Too inconsistent to give Pitts that money.
But he was the tight end 2 last year off of 1 game. So why not give him all that money?
I get that, but unless the team is going to use him like they used him in his rookie year, he's been the team has been too inconsistent, I guess. You're going to spend all this money. They haven't
focused on him.
Yeah. They're going to spend all this money on a mediocre guy.
Hang on, bear with me.
I should say mediocre.
Who is the highest paid tight end in the NFL? Kelsey? Oh, Kittle. All right, here we go. You are correct. George Kittle. He has an average value of $19 million, followed by Trey McBride, Travis Kelce, TJ Hawkinson. Oh, barf. David Njoku, Mark Andrews, Jake Ferguson, Cole Kmet at $12 million. Really? Pat Freiermuth.
There was that big push for tight ends when Kelce and Kittle kind of made the position super popular because they were flamboyant. They were catching the ball. They were getting touchdowns. And even Gronk, kind of the party animal, fun guys. Okay. And that's when the salary started to climb for tight ends, I think.
Okay, so here's where everybody ranks now after the update. Okay, so according to tight end contracts, George Kittle is still the highest paid going into 2026. Trey McBride is tied at second. They essentially are getting paid the exact same. TJ Hawkinson is still under a massive contract. It looks like it's done this year. So this is his last year under contract, and he's getting paid $16 million. Then we've got Kyle Pitts just signed. He's number 4 right now, followed by Jake Ferguson, Cole Kmet, Pat Freiermuth. Then Brenton Strange with his new contract. He just jumps in. Then Darnell Washington, tight end for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So they got 2 top 10 tight ends on the payroll. Then Isaiah Likely out there in New York. Mark Andrews, Juwan Johnson, Cade Otton. Wow. And then just kind of like it just tapers off to what I would assume to be reasonable. Oh, Travis Kelce is way down here. Travis Kelce. Uh, 1 year left on his contract.
He's kind of threatening retirement. So
yeah, he should be threatening retirement. Retirement should just come and choke hold him out.
Whatever.
Just take him.
Why you gotta be like that?
He's done.
Better than that Laporta goof.
Hey, Laporta is making
Laporta dropping a pizza.
Yeah. Sam Laporta is like 10 spots behind 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 spots behind Kelce. Kelsey's making on average. Am I reading that right? No. 12 million. He's just going to make 12 million this year. Sam Laporta's only going to make 9.4. Shucks. That's his contract value. Sorry. That's the value of his contract, not what's over the next 4 years. Dang. Anyways, interesting. So that puts Kyle Pitts way up there on the tight end food chain.
Yeah.
I agree. That seems really high for a relatively okay. Like he finished tight end too, but not consistently, right? Like he had one massive game.
Yeah, you take that out, and he'd probably be 10 or 11th.
Well, he is only 26.
True. That's why I say the team just needs to use him properly, and
hopefully they will.
A decent player.
Okay. Speaking of decent players, we're talking about this wonderful division known as the AFC South, which consists of your Jaguars, your Texans, your Colts, and your Titans. Not the most exciting division, except for last year when Daniel Jones was healthy. This division was top of the food chain. And then when Daniel Jones went down, Trevor Lawrence picked up and became a dominant force and took his Jags on. And somehow the Texans hung in there too with no offensive line and inconsistent play from CJ Stroud. So here's how they finished. Jaguars finished 13-4, winning the division. Texas came in 12-5. Colts finished 8-9. They were number one in the league before Daniel Jones went down, and then he goes down, and their season essentially is over. Then the Titans finished 3-14. One of the worst teams in all of football. Now let's talk about next year. Who do you think wins this division this year?
I got the Texans at 10-7.
So they don't get as many wins, but they still win the division.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm torn between the Jags and the Colts. I don't think Texas can do it. I think they'll be there, but I'm going to put my money on the Colts this year. I'm going to bet on Daniel Jones being healthy and them rumbling back. I'm going to have them go 12-5. Okay, so who's your 2 team then?
The Colts at 9-8.
Okay, so you have them improving by one match, one win. Okay, I'm actually going to put the Jags at 10-7, tied with the Texans 10-7.
Okay. My 3 was the Jags at 6-11.
Oh my goodness, you really let them drop.
Wow, you know how I feel about
Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, I think
get a haircut or grow something else.
Titans. I'm going 4-13.
I had 5-12.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do there. Cam Ward has a lot to go. I think that team has a lot to still work on. I hope they do better than 4-13, but I'm not expecting it. Yeah. Okay, so I have the Colts 12-5, the Jags and Texans tying 10-7, Titans 4-13. You have the Texans winning the division 10-7, Colts 9-8, followed by the Jags at 6-11, then the Titans 5-12. Whew. These guys are giving up a lot of points to some other teams this year.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go down and talk about each team's roster. So right now, the Jags are sitting there with Trevor Lawrence. Not a big fan. Bayshell Tootin and Chris Rodriguez. Sounds like Chris Rodriguez is injured, so he's not getting all of the early touches. So Bayshell Tootin has the upper hand, but I don't know if I'm fully buying into Bayshell Tootin. Then there's Brian Thomas Jr., Parker Washington, and Jacoby Myers, and the newly signed Brenton Strange at tight end. So lots of weapons. They also drafted tight end Nate Richter, round 2, tight end Tanner Kozoil, round 5, wide receiver Josh Cameron, round 6, and wide receiver CJ Williams, round 6.
I was reading a thing earlier today that Bo Richter could surprise some people.
Well, they did take him in the second round, so that is decent draft.
But then you turn around and give Strange all that money.
Well, Strange was unless
they go with a 2 tight end formation
approach. Yeah, they could do that. They did draft Brenton Strange in the second round, and he wasn't a big name.
For sure.
So I guess anything is possible, how quickly they can turn over. But I do like the roster on paper. Brian Thomas had one great year, and then last year was really bad. Parker Washington really emerged last year. Jacoby Myers was also very enjoyable to see him leave the Raiders and go to Jacksonville and be relevant. And then Brenton Strange was okay, right? If you were desperate at tight end, he did fill in a couple weeks.
Ultimately, it comes down to which
version of
whichever Martin Lawrence shows up. Is he the cop from Blue Streak or is he the robber from Blue Streak?
Nice, good reference. Does he get the diamond in the end?
He hasn't so far.
He just needs a haircut. All right, moving on to the Houston Texans. So they're bringing back C.J. Stroud. They did sign David Montgomery. They still got young kid Woody Marks, wide receiver Nico Collins, and no one else really to name at wide receiver. Tank Dell is still there. They got those 2 kids from last year, but no one really shined. And then they've got old man tight end Dalton Schultz. They did draft tight end Marlon Klein from Michigan in round 2, and wide receiver Lewis Bond in round 6.
I think what's going to save Texans' season is they've got a pretty good defense. So it's going to keep if they can keep the score down, the score against down, they'll steal some games. I think, and that's why I've only gave them 10 wins. Like, this is going to be a weak division in this conference, and a 10-7 team going to the playoffs, where there might be an 11-6 wild card, but the 10-7 is the division winner out of the So
yeah, it's how it goes. All right, let's talk Colts. Daniel Jones. To me, this is the biggest question mark. If Daniel Jones is healthy and comes back, I think good things for this team. Jonathan Taylor, still awesome. Alec Pierce got a big bag of money and is now the wide receiver 1. Michael Pittman's gone. Josh Downs, for those that still believe in Josh Downs, he could be out there for your 2 wide receiver sets. Or at least he'll get an elevated role. Tight end Tyler Warren, rookie sensation from last year. I own him in a few places, so I'm very excited to see what he does this year. And then they only drafted running back Seth McGowan in round 7 and wide receiver Deion Burks in round 7. So they didn't really go out and do anything. There are rumors, however, that they still might go and get a veteran wide receiver like Keenan Allen, somebody like that to round out the roster, because the roster is very young.
If they're looking for on the cheap a 1-year guy, go and get the cheetah.
Get Tyreek?
Yeah. If he gives you 1 year,
if he gives you a decent deal,
if Jones can chuck the ball far enough for him to outrun the defenders.
But that's kind of the Alec Pierce role, is that deep threat.
But now if you got 2 of them, who do you cover? You got to double. True, you got to double one of the 2.
Then you got Josh Downs and Tyler Warren in the underneath. Yeah, or Jonathan Taylor coming right up the middle.
Yeah, I mean, this team and I got them at 9-8 and second in the division. But this team's ceiling is way higher than the rest of the whole division. If Daniel Jones is healthy and does what he did last year, if he falls back into his bad habits of New York, well the team's doomed again.
Well, let's see if he
you
just
saw
grows.
when he went down, the team just imploded.
Well, because they didn't have any depth. They couldn't move on to it. Like the entire system was built around Daniel Jones.
Yes, but that's what I mean. Like if he falls into some of those bad habits, like he did in New York, hey, I'm running down the field, nobody's within 20 yards, and I'm just going to trip.
Sure. Or you're making bad decisions of where you're throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we got, I just want to see the Daniel Jones of last year. I want to see the rest of that this year, and I think that'd be great.
Yeah, like they could walk away and compete for the conference. They could be like the Jaguars that were like 3 years ago when they went on that big run in the playoffs.
Yeah,
they could be that team if he's healthy and does what he did last year. So we'll see. They they could be exciting to watch. And I think they have the highest ceiling. But there is a low floor if he falls down.
It's a wide range, right? It's not so compact. It's really dependent on a lot of things going right.
Yeah.
Okay. Tennessee Titans. Cam Ward coming back. I'd like to see this kid improve. I think he could be. I like his personality. I like what he was doing on the field. He might have to take the Bryce Young path to success, where you're just grinding it out, making slow improvements year after year after year.
Yeah.
I wish him all the best. I'm not a fan of the running game though. Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears. Nope. Don't want to touch those guys. Wan'Dale Robinson.
The thing with sorry, finish off with your.
Okay, we'll come back. Wan'Dale Robinson at wide receiver. They just signed him from New York. They've got old man Calvin Ridley, who's been utterly irrelevant for that team. Young tight end Gunnar Helm, which was he could grow into something. And then they drafted Carnell Tate round 1, and then running back Nicholas Singleton round 5. So not the greatest depth or roster at this point because they're relatively new working together. Let's see if something happens. Comments?
I think Tony Pollard, if they start using him properly, because he is a dual threat. He can catch. Like from a fantasy point standpoint, he can catch and he can run.
Yeah, he can do.
So if they start using him more, like a Saquon Barkley or somebody like that, or a CMC, he could have a bounce back year. They just got to get like that. The team is in such disarray. A whole new coaching staff. Like, how do you get any consistency when your coaches are
changing over,
all the time? Yeah.
I do like that they brought a crew together that can develop young talent, and hopefully these guys bond over their being new together, right?
Yes.
Not that you're coming into a system where there's a tenured coach or a tenured system. This is all brand new at a point where things can still be worked out. And if Calvin Ridley has anything left to give, let it be leadership and guidance to a younger generation, and not necessarily with his talent on the field, being a pass catcher.
Again, he's one of those guys that I've said in the past, know what your role is at this juncture in your career and accept it and embrace it. You're not going to be the 1,500-yard receiver and 25 touchdown catching guy ever again.
Your days of glory
are gone,
are behind you. Yeah,
you're gonna have games where you get 150 yards and 3 touchdowns. You'll have 1 or 2 of those still, but for the most part, accept that you're the number 2 guy, and 2 years down the road that you'd be the number 3 guy.
I think you might even be the 3 guy now.
Could be, but use that experience to elevate everybody around you. Make the defense also still think that you're that threat, so that when you're on the field, they have to pay attention to you. And that opens up, Wan'Dale Robinson or Pollard coming out of the backfield, right?
Play your role.
Yes.
Transfer your knowledge.
That's where guys like OBJ and players like that just don't get it. They still think, if I make a roster, I have to be the number one guy. No, you don't.
I got something to prove. Let me be the dude.
Like, and go out if you are. You don't have to have that attitude. Prove it.
Just
prove it by your performance on the field.
All right. Well, here's the part of this particular episode where we're going to pick our best fantasy lineup.
Question.
Fire away.
Stupid Andrew last year lost.
Yes, he did.
Because we did 8 rounds of this. Stupid Andrew is thinking, I don't want to do 8. I think it's 1, and we just add up all of the points.
It's just one bet.
One bet. We add up all 8 divisions, all 8 quarterbacks, all 8 running backs, all 8 wide receivers.
Sure.
So you get 8,000 points, and I get 8,005.
Yep.
Instead of you winning, winning
Stupid
7
Andrew
to
wants
1.
to include this in our year-end NFL draft.
Do I want to do that? Do I want to?
Because you made this choice last year and it did not work out for you. You had a stranglehold until we started going back through this.
But if we had only gone one of them, I would have won by 7 bets.
Really?
Well, yeah, because you basically
okay, right, because it doesn't. Yeah, this wouldn't have accumulated.
Yeah.
Okay.
You wouldn't have caught back up. I'm fine with to add them all up and do 1. And if that swings the bet again, if that swings the winner again next year, that I'm really gonna quit. Oh, now
you're asking me some questions.
Now your strategy is changing on who you're gonna pick.
No, my neighbor is asking me for something. I borrowed her green bin to stuff some of my dirt that's still left over from the pool excavation project. And she's like, "Where is that?" I'm like, "Oh, I tucked it in the garage." But she's asking, "Oh," I was like, "Where is that?" I'm like, "Oh, I tucked it in the garage. I forget why I did it." Oh, good. Okay. We don't have to fight over the one as long as you got ours. Yeah. I will. Sorry. I'll put it back on.
So we need to pick a QB, a running back, a wide receiver, a tight end, and a flex.
Yes.
Does it change? Yes, we do. If we're going to do this as points as a bet, does it change who you would pick?
Me, no.
Okay.
Yeah. I take the approach of who I actually I think is going to be. I don't want to take the approach of I'm going to try and pivot away from somebody just to try and maximize it. That's not how I think. I also don't want to game the system and try and be like, well, you pick this quarterback, so I'm going to pick a different quarterback just because. I'm going to pick the quarterback that I think is going to be the best. And if those two happen to line up, then it's a wash, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. If you want to make it so that we can't be even, we can't both pick Cam Ward, for example.
No. We could have in one division, we may have all the same players.
We might, right? And then that just becomes an absolute wash. Yeah.
But I don't think in any division we're going to be 100%. Yeah.
No, we do have
way too many
opinions.
wide receivers and running backs to
choose from. Yeah. I know who I like.
Yeah.
Do you want to go one at a time? Go quarterback, then just go position by position? Okay. Would you like me to start, or do you want to start?
I'll start. I'll go with my quarterback.
Okay.
I got even though he's
not Trevor Lawrence.
He's burnt me. He's burnt me when I had him the last couple of years. So now that I don't have him, maybe he bounces back. CJ Stroud. Yeah. I just think they are going to have the most. I think they'll have the most well-rounded offense.
Okay.
As long as Nico
actually, I
Collins
disagree.
stays healthy.
I think the Jags will have the best well-rounded offense with the highest floor. I think their consistency, like their floor, is going to be good and stable. But I agree with your statement from earlier that the Colts have the highest. I am nervous about Daniel Jones. I want him to be successful, but I'm not going to pick him. I'm also not going to pick Cam Ward because he's a second-year starter on a team that I don't think is going to win. I want to pick players from teams that I think will have winning records. So at this point, I want to pick either CJ Stroud or Trevor Lawrence, And I'm actually going to go Trevor Lawrence here. Mainly because he has many weapons. So if one guy goes down, oh, hey, look, Brian Thomas, you're out. Okay, cool. I got Parker Washington, I got Jacoby Myers, and I got Brenton Strange. Who does CJ Stroud have? You've got Nico Collins.
And then it drops
End
off.
of list. Yeah. Right. So
No,
that's
yeah.
Yeah. This is where I think the list can get interesting at running back. Because to me, there's two guys on my list, and I'm thinking about one for my flex.
I'm in the same boat as you.
Okay. Are we gonna Jonathan Taylor's your one? Yeah. Okay. That's who I had. Jonathan Taylor as my one. With or without Daniel Jones, Jonathan Taylor's going to get a lot of work. With Daniel Jones, his work just becomes easier.
Yeah. Wide receiver, we're probably different on this one.
Yeah, this is going to be close.
My pick.
Yeah.
Is I'm kind of banking him on having a bust out year. Carnell Tate.
Woo! I did not see that coming.
I think he's going to have a breakout year. He
Really?
will lead the Titans wide receiver room.
Okay, Carnell Tate. Oh, wow. Okay, here's who's on my list. Nico Collins, Alec Pierce, and someone from the Jacksonville Jaguars.
See, when I looked at Collins and Pierce, and my thoughts were, Nico Collins has had some injuries the last few years.
He's missed time.
So is he going to be the number one wide receiver in the conference? I don't know. Pierce, it's all dependent on Jones.
It is, yep.
If Jones doesn't come back healthy, or Jones goes down again, he's going to hurt. That's why I went to Tate with, I think, if him and Cam Ward get some chemistry, the team's not going to do damage, but I think Tate will benefit with touchdowns and 70, 80-yard games, 8-9 catches a game type thing.
Well, here's what I'm going to do. I've already got a Jag. I've already got a Colt. I know who I want for my tight end. And I don't want to double up or load up on too much on one team. I do want to spread it around a little bit. So with that said, I am going to eliminate Alec Pierce from my list, partially for the reasons that you gave, and also because I know that I want Tyler Warren as my tight end, and I don't want to have 3 Colts, which is already a risky proposition. So I'm going to mitigate that out. So that leaves me, and I would not have considered Carnell Tate. I would not have. So I'm going to skip out on the Titans. I don't like rookie wide receivers on teams. I want players. One, Nico Collins, because I think he'll have volume. The injury problem concerns me, but I think he's going to have massive volume. Alec Pierce, because I think he'll also have increased volume, but only if Daniel Jones is there, and I'll mitigate my risk. Then I got to look at the Jags. So do I pick Parker Washington, Jacoby Myers, or Brian Thomas? Brian Thomas had a bad year. Don't know if he rekindles that flame. Parker Washington, Jacoby Myers had good years, but not in the realm of wide receiver 1 in the division, maybe for the team. So for that, I got to go Nico Collins.
You know what? A healthy Nico Collins the last couple of years has had incredible games. So I got Taylor Warren as my tight end as well.
Okay. So yeah, he's just too awesome at tight end. I'm not sure I could go Gunnar Helm. No. Dalton Schultz, definitely not. Brenton Strange, maybe if Tyler Warren wasn't there. Like if it wasn't in this division, yeah, he'd probably be top of the list. But yeah, Tyler Warren. Now this is where the flex play is going to get interesting.
I think we both have the same guy.
Is it David Montgomery?
Yes.
Oh, I just wanted David Montgomery. That's okay. So really, the only difference on quarterback and wide receiver here.
The volume that he is going to get, even though they still have Woody Marks there, he is going to get every touch within 3 yards of the goal line. He's gonna he might not have games a lot of games of 100 yards rushing, but he's going to have a few.
I think he's going to be the bell cow, and you're right. He might not have
I don't
300
know,
touches.
though. I don't know, though.
I think he will. I
because
think he'll be like the early down Woody Marks change of pace. I'll give you an interesting stat. So last year, when Woody Marks took the job, the entire team all year long had 25 goal line touches. Guess how many touchdowns that turned into?
3, 4.
4.
Yeah.
You had one of the worst records within the 5 trying to run the ball into the end zone. If David Montgomery's that dude, he gets 25 touches.
He'll probably get 12 or 13.
Yeah, he's going to be double digits. So I'm going to bank on touchdowns in the short term for David Montgomery and just a lot of carries on first and second downs.
But you look at the way Detroit used him.
Mm-hmm.
He was the third down guy. So if they use Woody Marks as the first and second down guy,
sure.
And then Montgomery third down guy because he can catch too.
He can catch. He can pass block. He can run and make you regret it.
Or if it's like second and 3, then Montgomery comes in instead of Woody. I think if they were smart, I don't think that they because he's a bigger guy, don't make him the primary guy because maybe he breaks down 3/4 through the year, right? Like use him smart. Don't use him as 60% of your offense.
Okay, good call. Like you don't want to burn him out. Like this is a guy who could do good things for you, but he's also about to turn 30.
Exactly. But and that's my point, right? Like you want him to be able to be available and fresh the whole year. I'm not saying, okay, you're only coming in if it's 2 yards or less on the goal line. That's the only time you're going to get any playing time. No, he's going to get lots of playing time like he did in Detroit, but use him smart like Detroit did. Don't burn him out.
Not at this age, don't.
I think that's what happened to CMC when he was in Carolina. They grounded him and pounded him and grounded. But true. But just think about how much better he could have been if he had maybe 5 or 6 less touches a game. Right?
So would have put up lots of points.
Over the whole season, that's like 90 less touches. How much more fresh?
Less game played.
Yeah, exactly. How much fresher would he have been, right?
Good stuff. So my roster, Trevor Lawrence, Jonathan Taylor, Nico Collins, Tyler Warren, David Montgomery. Your roster, CJ Stroud, Jonathan Taylor, Carnell Tate, Tyler Warren, David Montgomery.
Quarterbacks thrown to the wide receivers.
That's right. There we go.
Yeah, my quarterback thrown to yours.
Yep.
That's a good thing. Your quarterback's not thrown to mine because he's not going to be any good. Oh,
oh, that's good burn. Good stuff. Well, all right, folks. Now that summer is here, we're going to have obviously some time off. There's going to be some schedules. Canada Day, a holiday that we all celebrate up here in Canada, is next Wednesday when we would normally record. So we're going to be skipping next week and then coming back. Oh, let's see now. Because I'm also on vacation the week after that. I'm going to be in BC. Now, I'm going to bring my stuff with me. So I'm going to have this wonderful headset and its extra microphone with me. So if we can get an episode in, we can get one recorded July 8th. We're going to try and get that done. If not, we'll just bump it back another week and just plow on through the rest of summer. Sound like a plan?
Is the next one going to be the Central?
Yeah, we'll do
the
Division.
North, I mean,
AFC. You want to do it North? Yeah.
AFC North. That'll be more fun to talk about.
North, South, East. Okay, so we'll do North. And then that will put the West here. There we go. Okay. So I will get that done and put together. Stay tuned to see what happens for our next episode when we're actually going to get that done. We'll keep you guys informed. Until then, enjoy your Canada Day. Enjoy your 4th of July. Enjoy your summer vacation and whatever you guys get up to. Appreciate you being here.
Enjoy your FIFA.
Yeah, enjoy your football. American and European. Okay. From one poor man to another. Remember, if it's not fun, it's not worth doing. Good night, everybody.
Have a great week or so, everybody.